blinding speed, knee-scraping joy, an adrenaline rush you'll feel for days. No, I'm not talking about an all-night character gone crazy. I'm talking about track days.
Not all of us have had the experience of going to the track and testing our abilities. But lucky for you, viewer, me and Kevin are going to go for the very first time and take you along for the ride.
So pull on your leather, strap on your helmet, and get ready to say goodbye to those chicken strips on this episode of Top End TV.
Going to the track for the first time can be quite an experience. A little exhilarating, quite possibly very addictive. Maybe a little scary too.
That's right. Although statistically safer than riding through the city at 5 o'clock traffic, going to the track has its own set of challenges. You have no mirrors, no brake lights. You have no idea what's going on around you except what's straight ahead.
Not to mention that the standard road rules no longer apply. Especially when that guy comes out of nowhere and passes you on a curve, literally inches away, creating what Kevin would call the pucker factor. But on the bright side, there is no speed limit. Kind of like the Autobahn on a 1.4 mile curvy track. You can go as fast as you want when you want. But be careful, don't outride yourself, or you'll become another statistic.
With all that said, let's see how our first day at the track went. Track day, rite of passage or imminent destruction. Now, before anybody out there decides to go on a track for the first time, there are certain considerations you must pay attention to and consider. First thing, speed. Second, safety. Third, speed. Fourth, gear. And finally, speed. Now, I'm not very fast, so I think I'm going to have to work on my speed just a little bit more.
So, let's talk about gear, because to go fast, you have to be protected. To go on the track, first things first, you have to have a suit, either one piece or two piece, zips around the middle. Kind of convenient when you're trying to keep cool in between your awesome track sessions. Second thing, that's right, you need gloves. You notice this part here, this is called the gauntlet. What it does is it covers your wrist. That way, if, God forbid, you fall down, don't worry, you got your wrist covered. Next thing, you need boots. Because, let me tell you something, you don't want to drag your feet on the ground here, and you don't want to be wearing sneakers. Cover those ankles, please. And of course, protect your head. I've got a very nice helmet here. You want to make sure that your cheek pads fit up snug and you're not able to pull your helmet off when you're wearing it, because what good's that going to do you if you ever should need it? May not make you look cool, but it'll keep you safe.
Before you take your bike out to the track for the first time, you need to do what's called safety wiring specific components on your bike. These components will be the oil fill, the oil filter, and the oil drain plug. Once you have all these three areas safety wired and everything, yeah, you're pretty much good to go.
track day, Jen and I decide to test our skills at the Talladega GP Raceway located in central Alabama. After lining up in the hot pit, we take off on this short 1.4-mile track which contains 4 left-hand curves and 1 right. Pretty much perfect for the first-time track rider, but more than enough to provide the speed and knee-dragging joy for intermediate and advanced riders. After going through the first curve at moderate speed, we approach the right-hander and slide through it with relative ease. Although difficult, we try our best to ignore the patchwork track repair and keep our eyes forward and focused on what lays ahead. After getting past of what will be the first of many, we nudge our way through the second left-hand curve. At this time, we're starting to get the feel of the track and add just a little bit more speed. Once through, passing what's called the carousel in the main pit, we roll on the throttle. The third left-hand curve has the closest thing to a switchback located on the track. It's pretty much just a lean, straightened lane, but provides enough of a switch to make it fun to roll through at faster speeds.
Lose the front end, or what happened? I'm sure you've explained it many times.
See that right there?
That was the first time you put it down?
Yeah, and then I went on the grass and I hit the brake, and I don't really know what happened at that point. It went that way. See, so hard more. Just come back and see me, okay?
Well, I think it's cool that it sucks, but at least you got up.
And unfortunately, that was our day at the track. But luckily, and as you can see, Jen is doing just fine.
However, I can't say the same for my bike.
But at least you're doing okay. But can you explain to me, and can you explain to our viewers exactly what happened out there?
Well, I can't tell you exactly what happened because I don't remember all of it. But talking to the guy who was behind me, went into the curve okay, and on the way out, for some reason, I decided I had enough and stood the bike up straight, and I headed off into the grass. My mistake happened once I hit the grass. I saw the other part of the track coming back, so it doubled back on itself, and I decided instead of crossing somebody else's path, I was going to, slow down a little bit. Well, I hit the front brake, and from there, you can see what happened.
Well, but other riders were also going out to the track that day, so your experience is in par with them, even though they were more experienced riders. You made a mistake, you went off the track, but you're okay. And this is what's important. When you go to the track, you can push those limits. If you try pushing the same limits on the street and the same accident happened, chances are Jen might have gone to the hospital or worse. Luckily,
but, that's a true point because I have experience on this bike. I've probably ridden a good 5,000 miles on it over the last 2 years that I've had it. And this is the first time that I've ever had something like this happen. And it was at the track because I did try and push my limits. What I was saying earlier about you know, being outrode, I outrode myself.
And again, it's better to outride yourself on the track than to outride yourself on the street. Until next time, thanks for watching Top End TV. Blinding speed, knee-scraping joy, the adrenaline rush you feel for days. No, I'm not talking about a kid or gun crash.
Guns.
Be perky.
Okay, everybody, going to the track.
If you did that, if you did it that way, that would be awesome. Super perky, yeah.
Not all of us have had the adrenaline-laced experience of going to the track.
You alright down there?
Do I get to wink?
You can. So pull on your leathers, strap on your helmets, and get ready to say goodbye to those chicken strips on this episode of Top End TV.
Jim was like making faces the whole.
So pull on your leathers, strap on your helmet, and get ready to... Now shoot. Let's try it again.
At least it didn't say this time.
You have to do it with an accent, don't you? Going to the track is quite an experience.
Quite an experience, huh,
Quite
darling?
an experience.
Thank you, come again.
That'd be hilarious.
We had to go catch that dang greased pig that got out of Poppy's shed. If you outride yourself, you'll end up becoming a statistic.
You just fart?
And on the bright side, there's no speed limit. It's kind of like being on the Autobahn on a 1.4 mile track.